either for the ceiling or the wax.
I have given some thought to it, and I've decided I've changed my mind. See, at one time I thought I was going to get curtains, and when I came up with my curtains, I was shot down, as you may know. So I'm not got any curtains, and we need something. And it does sound hollow in here.
It really does.
And if you could get some, if we could just put some on a couple of walls, it would really help. You know, what you get real. I mean, you have to tell me exact prices. You may not know, but you get it.
I don't know off the top of my head, but I know that I can get a great about 75% discount from retail. And retail on that stuff, if I'm not mistaken, is about $12 per 4x4 sheet. I think it is. And that's the
egg crate type.
Egg crate type. Yeah.
Okay. Now is this for? This is you're talking about foam for
acoustics.
Acoustics. Okay. It's acoustical foam.
Yes.
Do you know how deep it is?
It would
different
be
depths.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember. It seems like the last time I ordered some and messed around with it, seemed like it might have been 4 inches thick from the.
That's pretty good.
From one of the crates to the back, you know.
That's good, deep stuff. Yeah. It has some texture to it. It's a little tough. Yeah. All right, that's not bad. I think we should get some.
It's gray in color. It's a dark gray in color.
I think we should get some. And
I don't think it'd take too many sheets. And then I can get the angled where it comes down and goes straight up and comes down and straight up. It's more made for the ceiling than anything. And of course you put the angles towards the sound. I think. No, you put the flat area towards the sound, and the angles go the other direction, I believe, so that it makes the sound bounce. There's directions with it, believe it or not.
All right, that works. we go with directions. Yeah. If you'll notice how a bowling alley is made, if you look at the ceiling in a bowling alley, they all go this way, this way, this way, and it traps the sound down near that end of the bowling alley. Right. See what I mean? So it doesn't come.
So maybe that's the way it is, and maybe the angles go this way and the flats go
for trapping
the other way to trap it and coming back.
That's a way for trapping it.
Wow, what an election, I guess, huh? Asheville voted no to the partisan.
Overwhelmingly
no. Yeah, it's about 82%.
Yeah, well, that's good. You know what that is? That's the anarchist element of Asheville. There's an element of anarchy about Asheville, and they like to keep things wide open, and we're probably going to see a lot more third-party candidates running and maybe even being elected in the not too distant future.
You got to give a hand to Dwight Buckner because of what he come in 5th place. Beating out the rest of the candidates, so that's pretty good for a independent.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. I mean, and he was only like 130 some votes.
Yeah,
away from being in 4th place.
I know all 6 were very close.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, not all 6. But
right. I was disappointed in the turnout.
3rd, 4th.
I was too.
It was
very disappointed. I went around to different precincts and looked, and there was just nobody there. And of course I voted.
Yeah.
But there was just nobody.
Oh, I can't vote, as you know, but I can campaign, and I do.
Right.
You know.
Right. Well, what
of course nobody. No, of course nobody I campaigned before got elected. Then they never do. So don't have me campaign for you if you really want to be elected. It won't work.
That may not be true, but that's okay.
It'll be if it ever happens, it'll be a first. Okay.
Yeah. What disappoints me is that you have all these people all year long that come out of the woodwork and complain, and they go to these meetings and they stand up and they complain and gripe and moan and groan and this and that and the other. And then after the election, the next day you ask them, "Did you go vote?" No. I didn't have time to vote. Well, then stop complaining all year long.
Well, for a long time I didn't vote because then I could say, well, you can't blame it on me. I didn't vote for any of them. Well, you know what? If you don't like anybody who's running, then how about if you just don't vote?
Right. Well,
see, they always talk about, we'll vote for the lesser of the two evils or what have you, and you can vote for the lesser of the two evils. But, a lot of people have a hard time telling which is the lesser of the two evils.
True. But, voting's about the only freedom we still have in America as far as that goes.
And there's questions about that.
There is. There really is. But I think people need to get out and vote. and it's my opinion. I'm not trying to. I hope that doesn't be taken as a. What do they call it again? I've been gone too long.
No. You were expressing your opinion.
Expressing my opinion.
Yeah, in your opinion,
wasn't giving
people
a
need
call
to
to
go,
action.
get
There
out.
we go.
In your opinion, people need to get out and vote. Right. You're just letting us know you're opinionated. You're not telling anybody to do anything, are you?
No. They can do what they want to do.
All right. We have a back episode of the PSA, dude.
Those are always relevant, aren't
I
they?
got a good question for
Okay.
you, and you may or may not have been asked this already, but I'm sure you will be in the future if you haven't been already. How does the PSA dude get away with call to actions when nobody else can? Now, and I don't mean you personally.
I think you need to ask the PSA dude that.
How does PSAs get away with call to action? Because I hear the PSAs and you're like, go to or call this number and it's $10 and it sounds like a complete commercial to me.
Right. Well, did you see the Latte Republic? There was a place. It was. I heard Latte Republicans, but then I heard the scuttlebutt around the office was after a while it needed to be called the Latte Republican.
Or we were calling them the late Republicans. We were doing a purposeful
I know,
mispronunciation.
but the plural. I think the plural had to be dropped, didn't it? Wasn't it the Latte Republican?
Yeah, there wasn't really. Well, we couldn't even. They're very elusive.
They're very elusive, right? They nest high up in the trees, don't they?
Kind of like a Sasquatch, aren't they?
Yes.
Big, hairy, and elusive.
Yeah. See, you just got a knack for getting in trouble. That's what it is. See what I mean? See, the PSA dude doesn't have that knack.
It must be it.
It's all a matter of who's got the knack.
Well, how do you, if you're not going to answer that question, then how do you get a PSA on there? Is there a fees you have to pay, or is it free?
It's free.
And it can be about anything?
Well, within reason. I mean, you can't tell me about like a barbecue in your backyard or anything.
Why
I
not?
mean within
Why can't I
reason,
talk
yeah.
about a barbecue? If I called it the
You can do whatever you
if
want
I
on your
call it
show. I'm not
if I
telling
call
you.
it the if I called it the latte
Latte anarchist.
that latte anarchists, could it be about the
Sasquatch Jr.
yeah, could I do it about my backyard? You really ought to have some of that medicine tea. I think
I don't think
I
so.
think it's what you need, dude. I'm glad you came. It was good to see you. You know, who hasn't shown back up yet is Devine.
I know, and she was supposed to be back before I got back because she left like 2 weeks before I
I
left.
wonder what has become. Has
I
she
don't
become? Has she been abducted?
I don't know. I hope not. Maybe she got back to Louisiana and decided she liked it or something. I don't know. That's where she was going, I think, was back down in New Orleans. I'm pretty sure.
Well, maybe she's just having a good time, and maybe she's. I got a message from her a while back, and it seems like that she said it would be 2 more weeks, and that seems like it was a couple of weeks ago. So I feel like I'm expecting her anytime.
Probably next Thursday, and then I guess the following Thursday, URTV will be closed for Thanksgiving.
Does that mean no tea party?
I guess that means no tea party. I guess that means no sound off bunkum or anything.
Well, I wonder if we had a tea party on Wednesday, would they play it on Thursday? No. Well, we could. You know what we need to do is have a big Thanksgiving dinner.
If somebody's here to let you in, I guess, or if you got a key.
I don't have a key. But I do have this. Have you seen? Let's see. Have you seen these? Ta-da! You really can't tell much of that, can you?
Not much.
Well, I can do this, but let you see it. Ta-da!
Oh
See
yeah,
that?
I like that.
Do you like that one?
That's spray painted. I like that.
You like
Yeah.
that? It's Anarchy TV.
I like the purple on the green. That looks good.
That's wild looking, isn't it?
That is. Oh, I like that. I don't know. I like that purple better. That blue looks pretty though, but I like that purple better. I bet on that blue on this background here almost just appears as though it's just green.
Well, I could run that, you know. And how you like that one?
That's all right.
It's pretty wild, isn't it?
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. This is
I
this.
really like that purple on that green.
This is my logo, you know, that I designed like 20 years ago. But lately I've been fooling with it. You can tell that I'm just doing it with just changing the colors.
Did you design that A before Chris Angel did?
Huh?
Did you design that A before Chris Angel did?
Well, I don't know who Chris Angel is. When did Chris Angel design his?
Chris Angel's A is almost identical to that.
Well,
He's the one that does Mind Freak.
Well,
A&E.
when you have to tell me when did Chris Angel do it? Because
He started doing magic on A&E about 3 years ago. About 2 years ago, maybe.
okay,
And his A is almost identical to that, except he.
how many years ago?
About 2.
Oh no, I did this 20 years ago.
Okay.
This is this
His
is
A
this
has
this
a-
logo is over 20 years old.
His A has a little curly Q. That's the only difference. It's right there where your A just goes down.
Mm-hmm.
His A kind of comes up like that, or
Okay.
the line. I mean, it kind of comes up like that. But the rest of it's identical to that.
So he just stole. He just stole my.
Seen it somewhere.
He
and
stole my logo.
He sure did.
Oh my! See that? That's Anarchy Television or Anarchy TV, ATV. So
Yeah, it's even on here.
that's what it came from. A sticker like that. I
So you
had
designed it and had stickers made.
I made the stickers. I silk screened them myself by hand myself. What you got here? Is it a PSA?
Mhm.
Really?
It's not a new one.
It's not a new one. Yeah. I did that 20 years ago, and I did all the photo work on it. And I've shown you the one. Have you seen the one that's on the jacket pocket of the lab coat? And if you notice, it's just like that.
Yeah.
I did all that 20 years ago. Wow, that was a neat noise. What was that? That was your phone? Yeah.
Lo siento.
Let's see. You don't know what we're hearing,
I can hear it.
can you? Yeah, that's pretty good. We can just run this. We can just see. I can just put this around anywhere.
Is
I
it
want.
really 6:45 already?
No.
It can't be.
It's not been changed. We're.
Well, how come it would? That's an atomic clock. Why would it not change itself? It's just-
The question bears fruit.
Maybe there's a switch on the back of it. It's got to be flipped or something.
There is. At least one switch. What you got? Have you got something you need to tell us
Well,
about?
I have a number of answers here for Mr.
Oh.
I'm going to touch every cup because I'm sick, Randy Thomas.
I know. If I get a cold, I'm gonna hunt you down like a dog.
I hope you guys
What
get
do
it.
you think this stick is for, Randy? I can tell you what it's for.
I hope you guys don't.
This,
No,
I will not tell you what it's for.
That's the Terminator.
No, basically, PSA Dude works because nonprofits in Buncombe County can use the community bulletin board to advertise themselves in their events. So essentially, PSA Dude is an extension of the community bulletin board.
I see.
So everywhere I'm going is either highlighting a local nonprofit or business or doing a PSA for that event. So essentially, it's an extension of that, make it hopefully entertaining to watch. The reason it's not a call to action is because I'm saying North Carolina Stage Company announces the opening of a new gallery space in its lobby. The premiere show is Vice and Virtue, running October 17th to December 7th. It is inspired by the themes of Macbeth, which is currently playing at the theater. The gallery features works for local artists. For more information, visit ncstage.org or call 350-9090. Do you see why that's not a call to action? I'm not saying...
Not really, but okay.
Okay, well, I'm saying
But I
for
guess-
more information.
For more information, yeah.
So that's what you do. Thisismyband.com. For more information, go to thisismyband.com. Right? Is
Right.
that how it works?
But I'm not a nonprofit either, so.
Exactly.
Didn't you say nonprofit or business?
Well, Man Up Food Bank. Do you think it's a nonprofit or a business?
It's not a business.
North Carolina Stage Company. Nonprofit or a business?
Well, that's probably a business.
Nope, it is a nonprofit. Let's see. I don't know who this is. I lost the front of it. This is actually, one of these is an advertisement for a show on URTV.
But how about when the Latte Republican...
Definitely a not-profit.
How about when the Latte Republican goes to a business? How about when the Latte Republican goes to a business?
I don't know the Latte Republican.
And then when you go to
I
the
don't know
business,
that guy.
there's not even a Latte Republican there.
There's not even one there.
Just an old Sasquatch sitting over in the corner.
Probably a few bird balls.
Yes.
They know there'd been one there.
That's what the coffee is for.
It's a footprint in the
Calvary
parking lot.
Baptist Church.
Yeah. The elusive,
Motherland International.
the elusive Republican Sasquatch. Can you catch him?
No, you cannot. They will even tell you where they will be,
That's
yet
right.
they will not be there.
There's a piece of fuzz floating around here.
I know.
Just getting in
I
my
see
way.
it. I see it.
Came out of the bottom of
It's
the
just floating big as you please. Yes, sir. Airborne particulate matter. You're not going to try some of that.
No.
What you probably need to knock that coal right out.
No.
Does bear a strong resemblance to some kind of cold medicine I've had. Does it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's NyQuil
Maybe it's
or
some of that Theraflu or something.
No, I think Theraflu tastes better than that.
No, it doesn't. This doesn't taste that bad.
I can't finish it.
I'm glad I didn't put another one in there though. It does have a little orange in
That tea
there.
must be cold.
Probably is. It's been sitting there a long time. Try some of the stuff in the hot pot over there.
It's not even dissolving my sugar.
Huh, that's odd. Oh, you probably still had sugar in there from that last cup.
A little bit. I told you I'm having a little bit of tea with my sugar today.
Well, I saw you were looking through also the America the book. Have you read America the book? Have you seen America the book? Have we haven't. This has been introduced while you were gone. Show him
America the book.
America the book. I have at home
All right.
a copy of America the audio book, and it says "Welcome, non-reader."
This is the property of Buncombe County.
Is that what that says?
I don't
Let's
say
see.
who it is.
Buncombe County Library. Look at
Who does it belong to?
that. It was a gift to the Tea Party.
It now
It's
belongs to the Tea Party.
It's
That's-
even got a.
That's our take.
We
We ought
keep
to,
somebody from stealing it. If we put them two little poles up, somebody walks out with it.
we probably need to take that off, don't you reckon?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What on earth?
Huh?
As long as you don't walk into.
You don't read that part.
No, let's don't read that part.
Uh-huh.
Let's don't even think about that part.
Do you want to pick a section and read us something of interest there?
My goodness, they even got pornos in there.
Really?
Yeah. Free trial,
Huh?
right up here.
I really can't even see that. There is a woman there with their clothes on.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have that in America. That's true.
Well, sure they do.
That's true. That's not an exaggeration. Have you ever been on the internet?
No.
Like it or not.
You ever
is
had
a
one of
part
those just
America.
pop up before your face when you didn't even ask it to, and there it was? Huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever had that experience?
Accidental pornography.
Uh-huh. No, tell the truth. Have you ever had that experience?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Now
Now,
you email up and they try to.
and then all of a sudden here is a woman got her thing right in your face, right?
Or they're trying to sell you pills, lotion, or potion.
That's right. That's right. Size does matter, it says.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, I didn't ask for any of that. See, okay, now you're talking. We got to the Supreme Court. That's the Supreme Court, dude. Oh, I've never seen anybody have so much fun out of the Supreme Court. You're in a silly mood today, aren't you? I know what I saw it.
Did you see?
We saw it. We see. You said they got the. You see, you clip.
Oh, they got you all excited.
Woo!
Yeah.
You're supposed to put the clothes off and clothe them.
Mm-hmm. You can cut it out. You see, and pin it on them. Yeah.
My. Judge Judy made it in here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, how can you drink that?
Watch me. I'll show you how it's done.
I don't know how you drink it.
Mm.
I mean, I like sweet, but that's.
Woo!
Oh, you put water. You put sugar in yours or something, didn't you?
I put a little bit, but not as much as that tastes like.
Yeah. I have some tea. God, I don't know if I could find it. It's packed somewhere in my storage bin. Let me see if I can. I have the tea that's made by the like the Hindu guru back in the Alps or somewhere. I don't know, wherever.
The Dalai Lama? You got Dalai Lama tea?
It's not Dalai Lama, but it's like right on up there. You know, and it's some llama or other, and there's other llamas. There's a bunch of llamas, and it's one of them llamas teas.
Careful they spit.
And it's not got any sugar in it, but it tastes rather sweet. Similar, this has a bit of a sweetness to it, although there's no sugar in it. But this has, I think, a little bit of
Time and tap.
oh, what is that black candy? Licorice.
Licorice.
Licorice can be used as a bit of a sweetener, I think. See, this is what happens all the time. I give that book to somebody.
Nobody will read it. They just
Nobody
read
ever
out
reads
loud.
it. And then they quit talking too. Then they just look at the book. I say, here, read a thing out of this, and they look, and what do? Do you decide there's nothing fit to read
There's
in it?
nothing fit to
Read the foreword.
The foreword's been read, but we can have it again. It is excellent. I loved the foreword.
Thomas Jefferson.
Foreword by Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, here I'll
I
give
got to
you.
read it first to make sure it's.
Oh, that's not allowed. You got to just go right into it.
It's good. You don't trust us? This is very exciting.
I'm not going to read that.
He's not gonna read it. Okay, never mind. Just we won't make you read it. We should let you put it down. I'm sorry. I made you look at that. It's terrible, isn't it?
No, it's
Did you not find it interesting?
just about America.
Uh-huh.
George Stephanopoulos.
Right. Let me see what time it's getting around to. Is it getting around to the time to run another?
I think it's almost 3 a.m., isn't it?
No, it's almost 4.
Almost 4 a.m.
Because it's going to start at 2.
What are you doing up?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Let's do.
We'll read this right here.
Okay. Hang on. Let me turn the mic to you.
What are you doing away?
The founding fathers were so grateful to the media for their role in the revolution that the foremost and inalienable right confided in the Constitution's Bill of Rights was the First Amendment, which guaranteed freedom of speech and freedom of the press.
Right on.
This right was revoked in 1798 by the... Oh, my.
It was revoked?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That made me get quiet for a minute.
Well, read it on now. You got into it.
So when the acts expired in 1801, the government pledged to never again use legislation to censor the media, vowing to only use intimidation from that day forward. My. Can't read anything out of that book, can you? You know, let's sit there and got so cold it's like it's got ice in it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm serving a lousy tea table today.
You are, man. I need the old hot smoky back.
Yeah. Well, I've got some over here, but
It's all right.
I didn't make it. I'm
Thought right.
I'm moving toward the herbal
All right.
teas. I thought it might be healthier for us.
It's probably Richard. No, I don't know who it is.
No, he wouldn't be playing this when the Saints come marching in now.
Hello. Hey, Jody, how you doing? I'm doing all right.
You should find that section.
Oh no, I'm
He found and read what he wrote.
up here at TV station. Go ahead.
Anyway, it is time. You know what it's time
Uh-huh.
for.
The 420 roll.
I know you know what it's time for. Yes, it's not the 420 roll. It's just the roll.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic, man. So just okay. Then leave that information. I'll let you call back. I won't answer it, and you leave that information on my voicemail, and I'll go from there.
Uh-huh.
Not a problem. Not a problem. All right, you too. Bye-bye. That was Jody Bedford.
Oh, you getting another call?
No, he will call. He's gonna call me back here.
So that. You see what it says, don't you? That was good, doesn't it? I don't know. I don't. Looks like a damn game of patty cake, doesn't it? Yes, indeed. All right. I was running some craziness while you were on the phone. I was pulling your microphone down some so you wouldn't be. So we wouldn't be listening in on your phone call.
Oh, that
You know what I mean?
That is fine.
So let's see if we can get a little wider with that camera. There we go. Look at that. There you are. But you're in front of the black thing, so you don't get as much. You gotta get in front of the green. Here's what we're talking. I'm talking to Don Yelton about bringing that blue material back in, and he's talking about hanging it up there. So that we'll bring that on around as blue with his blue material, and I want to talk him out of a piece of it and make a tablecloth out of it. See what I mean? So that the tea table can disappear, except for the cups and saucers. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
And then they're just sitting here. They're just like this right here.
Right. And we could drape some over this too, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
See what I mean? And then you.
Well, I had thought about that, using that paint and just paint.
Yeah. Do you think we should?
Yeah, and then paint that right there.
What do you think, Jonathan?
What?
You think we should paint this with the blue paint?
Sure, we haven't entirely ruined it yet, so let's go all the way.
That's about the last thing we can do to it, isn't it?
Oh boy.
All right. Well, how do you like the way I got the monitors up there? They're not exactly straight. I've been criticized for that.
Hey, they look good.
They're functional and they're up there.
Yeah. They look fantastic.
They're not exactly straight, and to be honest with you, I wasn't paying that good of attention when I put them up there. It's true. I was just trying
So
to.
you probably slant when you do handwriting on a chalkboard, I'm guessing too.
Probably,
looks like
yeah.
they're going down.
Yeah, you notice that they stair step down.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's odd, isn't it?
It is.
I think it is too. Now that I look at it, didn't think a thing about it at the time when I put them up there. I thought I did them all the same, but obviously I did not.
Yeah, just a little off.
Yeah, there are a little off. Yeah, and I was going to cut the leads off the bottoms of those.
What happened to the guy that wanted a cast for his zombie movie? Because I haven't heard a thing from him, and he was supposed to be in casting for that.
You mean, are you talking about the zombie walk or the?
No.
Oh no, yeah, he came in on another show.
guy.
Did he come in on my show too?
The redheaded kid.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him. I guess we need to hear from him, don't we?
Somebody brought him in here.
Yeah,
don't
I think
remember who.
I think it might have been Matt Howard.
Okay.
And because I think he was on the Matt Howard show later, and he had a zombie girl with a gun and some stuff on there.
Okay. Yeah, because I wanted to be in that movie.
Okay, well, you didn't get his information, did you? So you're trying to figure out how to get in touch
Gave
with
him
him,
my information.
and he didn't call you back, huh? And
Supposed to let me know, yeah.
maybe you don't look zombie enough. Maybe you didn't go on the zombie walk. Did you go on the zombie walk? Did you hear about the zombie walk? Yeah.
Yeah, that's every year.
Yeah. Were you out of town during the zombie walk? You were, weren't you? Yeah.
Yep, I certainly was.
Well, what do we have important things that we should talk about? We should talk about important things.
Important things. Well, the Congress just had its first veto in 20 years.
Just had its first veto. You mean they voted down the veto?
They voted down the veto.
They
Yeah.
voted down the first veto from Bush. Bush has vetoed a number of things,
Yeah.
and this is the first time that Congress has had enough votes to
Override.
override a presidential veto.
Nice.
That's like the first time in 20-some years, I think.
Did you see? Did you see that? What, was it Thursday? Tuesday came up a vote on the Kucinich has introduced a bill to impeach Cheney.
Yeah, and they were going to table it, but now it's back up back up again.
Right. And I don't know if you watched the votes come in on that or not, but I had people watching that for me and calling me in on the phone at home, giving me the lowdown, and they'd say, well, it was 200 yays to so many nays, to 60-some nays and stuff like that. And then they're calling me back, and it's like, well, it's only 180 yays to 90 nays, and a whole, at one point, and maybe at the end, at least at one point, there were more Republican nays than Democratic nays.
Mm-hmm.
So suddenly there was a huge swing in the Republican Party, and they literally changed their vote. They'd already cast it. They withdrew their votes and changed them.
Well, it's getting close to election time.
Oh, and they didn't want to be seen supporting the president.
I think that might be that. I don't know. That's my guess.
At this point, it's anybody's guess, because that was some very unusual.
That don't typically happen.
No.
Usually once they cast a vote.
I couldn't
You gonna drink some more of that stuff?
Somebody's got to drink it. Here, I'll put some of the other in it too. Cut it down a little
I
bit.
bet you were fun at a cake party, huh?
I bet I'm fine at a keg
I
party.
bet you're fun at a cake party.
Fun at a cake party. I told you about the Beer Olympics. Did I tell you about the Beer Olympics?
No.
Have you ever heard
Somebody's
of?
gotta drink it.
Huh?
No, go ahead.
Have you ever been to the Beer heard about the Beer Olympics?
I have not.
You never heard of the Beer Olympics?
No.
Okay. Okay. Well, years ago
Never made it past the trials.
Yeah, and years ago in Atlanta, when they had the Olympics in Atlanta, you know how when we have bell share here, there's always the anti-bell share and all
Right.
that. All right. Well, when they had the Olympics in Atlanta, some of the skinheads got together and they decided that they would throw a simultaneous event of their own, and they called it the Beer Olympics. Right, so this is the skinheads throw a beer Olympics. If anybody's going to throw beer Olympics, it should be the skinheads. You know, if you know much about skins. And so, so some of my friends, the band I used to produce in Atlanta called the Anti-Heroes, and stuff, were Mark from that band and all were instrumental in that. And they had the Beer Olympics, and the Beer Olympics were so successful that they've had them every year since then. And a couple of years ago, I heard that the Anti-Heroes were playing the Beer Olympics, and it was going to be their last show. They weren't going to play anymore. That's what I heard, and I thought, well, I just can't let these guys, go out without going down and seeing them for their last show, and because I hadn't seen them in years and years, and so I went down there. I went down there, and I got up with Mark. And Mark made me a band. he gave me a pass to be a band, so I could park wherever and all that kind of stuff. And then he set me up with a dressing room, and he set me up with a keg of beer in the dressing room, and which made me very popular. And he set me up with this skinhead boy to like work bar, like to sit and pump the keg and make the beers and pass it out. Now sometimes this guy would be gone, and if you've got a keg, it really makes sense to set up a skinhead boy to work it, because if it's just helter skelter, it's a good bit of your beer just hits the floor and but with somebody working it, it's much more efficient, and everybody gets their beer quicker, and it makes it's like a bartender, somebody working the pub, the pump. So he set me up, and so here I am. I got a dressing room. I got a skinhead pumping beer for me. I got my own keg sitting in here, and skinhead bands from like all over the world come to play the Beer Olympics. And they're all like walking by and checking out, who is this dude that's kicked back and got his own keg, and
keg, right?
and of course they're all wandering in because I've got a keg. So it was I had a great time. It was I've only been to the Beer Olympics once. But let me tell you, it was fabulous. And I don't know if you've ever hung out with skinheads, and I'll tell you about the skinheads in Atlanta. What I think the predominant form of skinheads in Atlanta is what I call Atlanta independent skins, and they would be most closely allied with sharps, if you know what sharps are, and so they're a great group of people, the skins in Atlanta, and particularly the anti-heroes are they're kind of cut above folks. They're real smart, and they're people that are out doing things and have serious notions of what's right or wrong and things like that. And not that they always do it, but they do, and they think about it. You know what I mean? And so so anyway, I really like partying with the Atlanta Skins, and I went down and just it's just a riot, and I highly recommend it. If you can imagine a huge room, a big stage with one of the major hardcore bands playing, and just literally thousands of skinheads, all the beer you can imagine, and a mosh pit that's taking up half the room, and it's the Beer Olympics, and everybody's having a good time. That I did not see anybody. I did not see any kind of fighting. I did not even see anybody grumpy. Everybody there was just ecstatically happy and just having the time of their life.
I've never seen a happy punk.
You've not? Well, this was a room, a huge room, full of happy skinheads, and some of them were pounding the hell out of one another.
That's what happens in a mosh pit.
In sheer ecstasy.
You didn't get in the mosh pit?
No. It's been some years since
There's some flying kicks and.
Right. Been some years since I've been in the mosh pit, but I'm planning to instigate the 420 roll, and I've decided that the 420 roll is going to roll from 420 to 430, so it's going to be a 10-minute segment.
And you're going to put a mosh pit in here?
Well, and I'm going to bring back in the 420 roll. Sometimes I'm going to use some of my old footage, and I'll use some of the footage that I've shot from some of the mosh pits in the world from back in the day, so. There were days I used to get hurt shooting video,
I can imagine.
Yeah, well, mostly things like getting we didn't have in those days. We didn't have that little
CD panel.
that CD panel
So
to look at.
so
Yeah, you're looking at it like this,
so
and
somebody hits
like
the camera.
wham, and it's busting your eye and stuff like that. Yeah, you get hurt in a mosh pit if you're.
You get hurt in a mosh pit no matter what.
Yeah, but you get hurt in a mosh
pit.
pit.
You get hurt just being around the mosh pit.
Yeah, but you get hurt in a mosh pit if you're not looking. See, I'm looking through that. I can't. And one time I had me a couple skinheads that were blockers. You know, I'm like, you go with me, and y'all are my blockers. You know, you keep the path open around and protect me while I look. You know, and that didn't work because back in those days, the camcorder or the video recorder and the camera were separate pieces, and they had wires together and stuff like that. And I was getting. And people get tangled in the wires and the stuff,
rip it out of your hand,
oh man,
rip it out of the sockets, and
you come out of the mosh pit and you got the camera in one hand and wires and stuff, and the other hand just ripped right out and stuff. Yeah,
sounds like a nightmare.
yeah. Well, no, actually, it is a nightmare, but it's also an experience that that you can have an experience like that no other way.
Right. Well,
You see what I mean? So and not only that, but I videoed it until the wires ripped out, which was about 30 seconds.
No, it's.
Whoa, look at that.
As
Jonathan leaned up and you had a
as
big streak of Jonathan
As
heads.
odd as it does sound, thinking about it now, well, see, now I'm all sorts of injured and beat up. Like, I'm not as young and
Flip on number 1. Yeah,
mobile as I used to be.
Yeah. You look at you. You look pretty mobile there, don't you?
Oi, oi, oi.
Oy.
No, but there is definitely something to be said for that experience because it's almost like I'm sure you've seen Fight Club,
Yeah.
but it's almost there is some credence to that logic of you never quite feel so alive as when you're like your life is kind of threatened a little bit, like you really got to get the heart pumping and the
I'm
blood
not
flowing.
down with that.
I don't mean like
Not
necessarily like your life is in danger, but your body has that same response. If there's violence, you could be just like a sport, like somebody hitting you like on a football field or a mosh pit. You know that chances are you'll make it out of there alive. You may be cut, you may be bruised, and if you fall, you may not make it out alive. But there is something to be said for that. And I remember distinctly at the biggest rock show I've ever been to, and that was Woodstock '99.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, you could not, that was like